Alright, here we go again. This is OG's 2002 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland Edition. This one's got the suede and the leather seats. It's got the V8 4.7 high output, not the regular V8, but the good one. And all the amenities, if you will. Cruise, tilt, leather, AC, climate control, heated everything. You know the deal. So we're gonna do a walk around and a go through of the suspension and all the shit that I actually put in this truck. I haven't done a real extensive overview of everything yet, but we're gonna go over it right now. I'm gonna show you all the cool stuff that OG had to do in order to make this Jeep look the way it does. And it wasn't easy. These Grand Cherokees are a nightmare to lift. Most people have all kinds of problems because they don't spend all the money you need to spend in order to make them go down the road. This truck will do 85 all day long, no shakes, no vibrations. But it wasn't cheap to make. So today we're going to go over what I actually did and what it kind of cost me and how much time I had to put into making this thing, because it took a long time. It took me about 3 years to finally get it to where I can drive the thing. It was a nightmare getting the vibrations out of it and getting the shakes out of it, but it's all gone now. It runs down the road good, and we'll show you all the cool stuff. All right, we're back. Kind of got the light on it so you guys can see. But here's what we did under here, which was a lot of stuff. First off, this axle. I pulled this axle out of here. I rebuilt the insides. All new seals, all new shafts, all new bearings. Everything's mint. For the outside of the axle, these spring buckets right here, all brand new. All welded on. Had my buddy do the work on them. Those are mint. Super thick stuff that's not going to wear out and break on you down the road. We also have the adjustable track bar in here. You need that in order to center your axles. If you don't do this correctly, your axle will be hanging out about a ½ inch to one side. So that's what straightened the axle out to get it to fit under the body correctly. We got dual steering stabilizers. This is the factory setup right here, and then we got the aftermarket one on the outside. So there's 2 steering stabilizers keeping this thing together. We have quick release sway bar links. Pull the cotter pin, pop those off, and it'll let your front end hang all over the place to climb over the rocks. New transmission lines, new oil pan and gasket. Got all new spark plugs in it, all new oils in it, air filter, all the regular amenities. I've also replaced the radiator. Not that that's a big deal, but it's got a trick radiator in it now. We got 33-inch tires on it. Still using the factory sway bar up front. It's pretty beefy, so there's no reason to switch that out. Got the Rusty's RX-8 shocks in here, all the way around. All new rubbers for the springs, top and bottom. All new rubbers in the front sway bar over here. Everything's been replaced, guys. Everything. To get into my wheels, there's a 1.5 inch wheel spacer back there. So I got 3 inches wider wheel base left to right than I did originally. So that got the tires out from under the fenders so that we can get around the turns and not scrape everything. I'll turn the wheel in a couple minutes and you guys can see how close it gets. But the way the suspension works, it swings forward when it goes up, so it's not going to smash into the fender. Rusty's 4.5-inch long arms. No silly short arms. The good stuff. Bolted on. The original control arms were bolted up right in here. I had to cut all this shit off right here. When I cut all that off, that makes for the clearance to get over the top of these long arms, so now they can go up and down, otherwise they'd hit the factory mount. So I had to cut those off. So that means this truck's not going back to stock ever in its life again. You'll see it in a minute. We have a Tom Woods custom drive shaft in here. That alone was about 450 bucks. This is what's called a double cardon drive shaft. So it's got a double pivot point up here by the transfer case, and an old school single U-joint back here by the rear axle. The front, as we roll around here and smash everything up, is also a double cardon. The reason for these is because of the crazy angle that these lifted Jeeps are in. Don't allow the U-joints to go around in circles very good. So by going to a double cardon, double U-joint on one end, single on the other, I can take care of the angle issues. That's how you get vibration out of the drive line with these. And you'll even see that, you see the angle differentiation? It's not that big of a deal. It's only off by about 3 or 4 degrees. If I tried to do this with the original drive shaft, that would have been about a 12 to 13 degree angle, and that U-joint would bind like crazy. So because of the double cardon drive shaft, it does the angles. That's the factory one. I've had that rebuilt, rebalanced, all new U-joints in that, all new seals up in the front of the pumpkin here. And as we come back around, this has got Akibono front brake calipers, not the crappy ones. This has got the good ones on it now. I believe that's what they were called. So I upgraded what was under here to a bigger caliper. Comes off of a different model. The older models, like this 02, had kind of a chintzy front caliper. So with the fatter tires, upgrade the caliper, put some nice brakes in there. It's got a good rotor on it, and it's mint now. It stops really good. It's not even... This transfer case is a 242 HD transfer case. This is a 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive transfer case. This truck originally came with a 247 transfer case, which is an all-wheel drive transfer case, meaning the truck was always in 4-wheel drive. Now I have the option to put it in 2-wheel drive, take the front drive line out of the equation, which helps with the vibration issues, and that's why we can do 80 down the highway. Even in 4-wheel drive, this thing still will do 80, 85 all day. No vibrations. Like I said, it's all because of the drive shafts, and it's all because of the pinion angles that were adjustable, because the long arms are adjustable. Hence, the adjustable long arms. So I'm able to change the angles of the drive shafts. I'm able to change the angles. Of course, we got the cops going by right now, ruining everything. So anyway, where were we? So with the adjustable control arms, I'm able to change the pinion angles. I'm able to move the axles forward and backwards, change the wheelbase, fully adjustable. Right now I got it all tuned in perfect. It's pretty much at a factory wheelbase, and nothing hits the fenders. So this transfer case also has what's called a slip yoke eliminator. So see this plate right here? That plate slides into the transfer case and it's bolted on like a traditional like yoke. And then that round flat plate on the drive shaft bolts directly to it. Makes it easy to get the drive shafts in and out of here if you need to take them apart and rebuild them and stuff like that. I had to take this transfer case completely apart and put in the slip yoke eliminator output shaft. This transfer case is new old stock. There was 6 available. I found one. It was brand new. I took apart a brand new one and rebuilt it with the new guts. That stupid shaft, that was almost like a $500 pot just to do that. Transfer case cost me $800. Transfer case and slip yoke eliminator alone cost me over 1,400 bucks. 1,400 bucks to do that. I did that to make sure there was no vibrations. You can see the transfer case and tranny mount is all bolted on, similar to what the factory one was set up, but a little bit different. So there's no factory one in there. What else we got under here? If we look at these brake lines and stuff, and the tranny and the gas lines, those are all stainless steel, but the one on the very top, that's the brake line. Brake lines in this truck originally were all steel, and they were all rusted out. So I replaced everything in the brake line system with stainless steel. Never gonna rot out, last forever. Came out the ball. So we'll never have a problem with our lines rotting or rusting out ever again. So here's the rear upper control arm. It's actually a wishbone. See the way that's set up? It's bolted to the top of the pumpkin here. And then the other 2 arms fly up underneath basically the back seats of the Jeep. So that's the upper control arms. As you can see, those are fully adjustable. The yoke that's down in here, which I can't quite get to, that's fully adjustable. See the way that is? All new spring rubbers in these. 4.5-inch Rusty's coils. These are all new spring mounts. This axle was also out of the truck completely. All new control arm mounts. Those are all been welded on. This is all upgraded stuff. Took out all the old rotted and rusty shit. I rebuilt the brake calipers. Once again, 1.5-inch wheel spaces on those 2. And new rotors. So the brakes are completely brand new. Brake lines, brake fluid, everything up to the master cylinder, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that. If you notice the underneath of this truck, it's all nice and painted and sealed up. I spent weeks with the needle scaler, the grinding wheel with the wire wheel on it, and cleaned every inch of every piece of rust that was under here. And then it was sealed up with that crazy it's like POR 15, but it's a little bit different. But same thing, it's all that crazy anti-rust, anti-bond paint that is basically never gonna rust again, and it's holding up like crazy. Every inch, I scaled every inch of this truck. Everything. Everything. Every inch. Everything's been taken apart. This whole underneath of this truck, when I was working on it, nothing was under here. I stripped every inch of everything off of this truck and scaled it and repainted it. Weeks with rust in my eyes and all kinds of shit in my ears. Crazy. But there ain't another one that's done up as nice as this, as far as I went through all of it. You try to videotape on your back with a camera in one hand and a big light in the other. See how nice and painted up everything is down here? Mint. Alright, we're gonna climb out, we're gonna show you the back. Alright, we're gonna show you the back and the underneath of what we did here. That's the fuel tank. It's made of plastic. It's got this big metal cover / protective cover on it. I had to drop all of that because I had a rusty line on the top and I needed to get to it. So this entire fuel system's been out of the truck. Like I said, I took every inch of this thing apart. There was nothing underneath it. See how nice and painted up and thick that shit is? We are not gonna have any more rust. It's all done, all needle skilled and all painted. That's not rust under there, that's the shape of the paint. The paint got lumpy and heavy because it was hanging upside down. Get what I'm saying? So it kind of fish-eyed a little bit, but I don't really care. As long as the thing is sealed up, that's what we're looking for. So as we get a little further under here, I'll show you what we did with the rear suspension. This is an ADCO rear sway bar. That's another $400 part. Took out the stupid little skinny sissy one that was in here, put that big giant monster in there, and this truck goes around turns like a race car. Extended sway bar links, new bushings here, and then the Rusty's RX-8 shocks again in the rear. Everything was stripped. Everything's been painted, replaced. There's no junk under here. See the stainless steel brake line? Wicked nice. We will never have any rotted lines ever again. All the way, the complete system, front to back. Very nice. This rear end, I had this apart also. Did the seals in this. Did the bearings in this. It's got brand new axles on both sides. Brand new bearings on both sides. So when I say everything was done, everything was done. All the oil's been replaced in these rear ends. These are quadra-drive rear ends. They're basically posi rear ends. They got a hydraulic clutch, like a hydraulic clutch pack, like the motorcycle clutch in it. And as one tire starts to wind up, it creates pressure and it locks the other side in. So this truck is complete 4-wheel drive. All 4 tires will lock up and rip. None of that zigzag front, right, left, rear. 4-wheel drive. This is the smog stuff. With the factory bumpers, that is all covered up. But since we've lifted it, that's exposed a little bit. It looks like crap, but it is what it is. I ain't switching it. I might box it in later. These wheels and tires are from a 2016 Jeep Rubicon. These are the factory 32 and 3/4 inch tires that come on all the Rubicons. I scored 5 of these for $1,500, all brand new tires, all brand new rims, brand new valve stems. And I tell you, everything's new in this truck. Everything's new. Everything. I've since wet sanded and buffed the paint. You guys know me. I like my paint shiny. Look at this hood. I got every scratch out of it. Mint headlights. No fogged up lenses. Mint. Obviously replacement bumpers. Bumpers cost me about $800, $900. Gave me all the room in the front, so we're not gonna have any tires grinding on the front bumpers. Here's what I made for clearance with the adjustable control arms to get the wheelbase so that I can clear the tires making turns. They'll hit if you take it in the woods, but this truck is more a street truck because I ain't wrecking my shit. Quick glimpse of the inside. It's perfect. There's no cracks. It's perfect. Leather and suede seats. This is all suede. Obviously the inserts are leather. Sunroof. It's a cool wooden steering wheel. OG's kick-ass CB radio. And it does kick ass. We'll go to the back. I know I'm wasting your time, but it is what it is. I'm just showing you how mint my truck is. Mint. Perfect. You'd never know it was an 02. And as we get to the back, we have to put the spare tire there because it obviously does not fit back on the bottom. Other guys put these on the top of their truck, but you know what? I want it inside the truck because I don't need any more extra leverage on the top of the truck, swaying the Jeep around, making turns and stuff like that. Nice trick bumper. My glass is perfect. I don't have junk glass. It's mint. What else do we do here? I've done so much stuff I forgot, let me tell you. I don't know. We'll open up the hood. This Jeep has 88,000 miles on it now. It's got no mileage. It's 22 years old. So here we go. 4.7 V8 high output. None of those stupid little six bangers, none of those turbo four cylinders like they're trying to make us think that those are good vehicles nowadays. New battery, new exhaust gaskets, new radiator, new belt. What else are we doing here? Thermostat gasket. Oh, here we go. This is a cool thing. The windshield washer jug in this is out of a 1996 ZJ. This is a WJ. This is a hack option in order to make your windshield washer still work, because the factory one was buried down in here and it came out right here, and because of that this tire would end up hitting it. So you get rid of that big giant bucket that used to be under there, you do the ZJ mod, jam it up into that corner, and there you go. Instant tire clearance, and we still got windshield washer fluid. That was another cool thing I did. Now, when I wrecked the truck on the guardrail, I dented this door. See this right here? This is OG's handiwork. This was dented from here. I got a scrape all up in here. This was dented, and the rocker panel was dented. So I had to rework all that to get those back to nice and smoothly smooth. Another week's worth of work doing body work on this. I had a little bit of rot down here in the corners. I've reworked all of this, fixed all of that. It's all perfect now. Oh, close enough. The Bondo might rot out later, but you know what? I don't care. I can fix it later. And then this fender got smashed. This is an aftermarket fender. I bought it painted to match. It's a little bit off, but you know what? I don't care. It's not smashed up. And unless you're going to the show, nobody's going to notice. Another little glimpse of what's going on down here with the suspension. Control arm mounts are new also. That's right here. I'll show you guys the pictures of the stripped off tubes, and my guy welding up the new parts on there. These are the factory tow hooks. I thought that looked cool, putting the factory tow hooks back on with the aftermarket D-rings. Kind of adds a little bit of spice to the way it looks. Sick, huh? Like I said, I've totally forgot how much stuff I've done to this thing. Had to relocate the horns down there. See the horn down there? They were up under the front bumper. I had to change those around. Also did a catback Dynamax exhaust system. This system I got from Napa. It's probably like 350 bucks. A little bit bigger on the pipe size, 1/4 inch bigger pipes. And it's a little bit louder. It is definitely not wicked loud. I'll show you the other side. Alright, here's the tail end of the Dynamax exhaust system. I need to get it down to the exhaust guy and have him tuck this up a little bit higher. But for now, it's working and I ain't dying from emissions. As you can hear it, got a nice little purr to it. It's not loud, nobody's looking at me, you know me. Stock exhaust. Ha, what a kook. Alright. We'll find some more to look at. We'll be back. Alright, I turned the wheel so I can show you guys how much / how little clearance there is between this tire and that corner. But no matter what, when that tire goes up in the air, it actually goes away from the truck. So that's how close it is, and there's no chewed up spots because it misses. Show you some more of the coolness here. You guys don't understand how much I love what I did here. The suspension is terrific. All right, we'll go find something else to look at. We'll be back. Here's what we got for clearance on this side. So when it swings out, miles, no problem. And then because of the front bumpers, got all the clearance in the world here. Very nice. Get a look at the upper control arms and how they're mounted. Like I said, all those mounts on the axle, they're all brand new. All of it. Nothing's rotted. spring bucket, all brand new in there. Brand new rubber, brand new shocks, brand new shock bushings. See the handiwork on the paint? All the needle scaling I did. Everything is sealed under here. Nothing's exposed. Nothing's gonna rot again. Sort of. We're in Massachusetts, folks. Had to work this rocker panel a little bit on this side. Back here we had a couple of kind of rotted through holes here. This corner took me forever to get back in shape. This was a mess. This whole corner was a big giant hole. I've reworked this whole thing over here. All these have been repainted, the moldings. All that was repainted. OG shine. Killing the game. So, there's a OG's tricked out 4.5 inch Rusty's long arm. Every inch of it was rebuilt. Every inch of it was de-rust. If it was scratched, it was repainted. OG shine, baby. And that, folks, is one of the trickiest Jeeps around. Thanks for playing.